XRP news, here's what holders have missed in the last 7 days. We're going through all the latest and most important news from the past weeks, all based on data. XRP, let's start. For those who aren't familiar with XRP, it's a digital coin primarily used as a bridge currency, but it actually has a wide variety of many more practical use cases. I'll just link the analysis right up here. Then you can take a closer look at XRP. But let's get straight to the news. The momentum for the week was at 44, right? Ultimately, that means it's in the neutral range. We have 55% positive news, 18% neutral, and 27% negative. The on-chain trend is clearly rising, which is a very positive signal, of course, because it means that XRP is being used much more. And looking at the biggest driver this week, the fact that the price is slipping below $1 is certainly critical, but on the flip side, network usage and the number of larger wallets are still growing, which is honestly very exciting to see. But with that said, let's dive straight into the news. First, we have protocol and tech news. First news, a major network update is up for a vote. Version 3.30 released on August 7th. 6 changes needed 80% approval. This means new features are waiting for network approval here. Yes, source is XRP Ledger from August 7th. Then the second news, 2 blocked features are returning. Right, so we found a bug on the 19th. I want to reassure you that no money was lost, but those bugs have been fixed, meaning all of the old security issues have now been fully resolved. Source, CoinDesk from August 1st. But before we continue, here's a benefit for you, the 10x Insider. These are my free tools that I've personally built to support you as an investor in making truly better, more informed decisions. Before I talk too much, just scan the code or go to the website. You'll get all the info on what these tools are and exactly how they can help you, or you can simply check the pinned comment below. In my view, it's extremely positive. It's free added value for you. So at the very least, take a look, because it's really not like those typical Telegram groups that others have. These are genuinely real tools that can help you out, especially as we prepare for the next bull run. But let's move on to some partnership news and integration updates, right? For one, we now have XRP serving as options collateral here. FXRP is officially live on Doreen as announced on August 14th. This means there are now significantly more use cases for XRP once again, according to sources from Flare Networks on August 4th. Then, quite unexpectedly, the new credit market was quickly exhausted by users. $1 million borrowed within hours. The upper limit was increased to 9 million. This clearly means that the overall demand for XRP collateralized loans remains quite high and is still very strong. Here too, source, Flare Networks on August 6th. 2 pieces of positive news for XRP. Then regulatory. Some there, rather negative, you see it by the red. On one hand, money in XRP funds has almost dried up, meaning $1 million inflows until August 8th. That's 93% less than in the previous week. Means large investors are buying less XRP, right? Then there is the US crypto voting law, specifically the Clarity Act, which has unfortunately been postponed. This is really not ideal for XRP, right? Because it means that clear regulatory rules remain absent for the time being, even if it is pushed further into the future. That is according to the latest report from CoinDesk. Authorities are now postponing the meeting regarding crypto rules. And it turns out that the SEC meetings have also been delayed. Topic for the classification of tokens there again. Legal questions remain open. Source, SEC, August 14th. Then we have news about the team and the funding. Major banks report stakes in XRP funds, so extremely exciting. Almost 7,000 shares in the Franklin XRP fund filed on August 14th with the authorities. Means, of course, right? One of the largest banks now holds a small XRP position. Source, SEC. Moving on to our next update, Ripple has just transferred 50 million coins, which at current market rates is worth approximately $50 million. Sent on August 13th. Purpose rather unclear. Means a large transfer, but without an explanation. We don't know. Maybe they need money? Crypto news is the source. Then we come to the topic of community and ecosystem. There are also 2 interesting pieces of news. The number of network accounts is actually at a record high, meaning 8.48 million addresses in August, right? Meaning an increase means more people are using XRP as a network. Source, CryptoQuant. Then large wallets continue to buy more. Also positive, 72 million XRP bought. Wallets over 1 million are at about 2,000. Means large holders are buying more after the pullback, right? Also positive. But now tell me, what comes next? What other news is important for you? In about 2 days, so depending on when I publish the video, definitely on August 17th, it's the case that new figures on money flows into XRP funds will be shown. Then we have the monthly release from Ripple on September 1st, so locked coins will be released. You have to be careful, it can lead to volatility. And as I said, the interest rate decision by the US Federal Reserve on September 16th. There they'll say whether the key interest rate will be raised or set lower. Yes, now we'll go together as always into the chart analysis, look at XRP, right? Are we overbought? Are we oversold? Is a bottom forming? Because that's what everyone's waiting for. All that's in the 10x indicator, and you can get the 10x indicator too. Then you'll always be up to date with the latest info. Scan here to get all the important information. So now we're already in the XRP chart. Exactly. How does it look right now? So purely from a chart perspective, we actually saw a big green dot appear right here on August 13th. First of all, that clearly means we are currently in the oversold zone, which signals a possible bottoming or at least a local bottoming process. A target zone also emerged on the chart, but interestingly, that target zone hasn't been hit here yet, not even close to being reached. But that's also because if Bitcoin doesn't go up, of course, then altcoins usually don't go up either, and you always have to keep an eye on the global economic situation. That's why I always say chart analyses are just one piece of the puzzle, because you have to keep an eye on the overall market. You have to keep an eye on the fundamental data of an altcoin, right? The technology, but also, as I said, the chart analysis and the entire market. Yeah, for now I would be careful, just as I mentioned, due to the overall market situation. However, looking ahead, an exciting zone for XRP could potentially emerge in the coming weeks, so it is worth keeping an eye on. Well, I also regularly do chart analyses for XRP. Just follow me here at the 10x Insider, because there you'll be fully informed and it's completely free, plus you can use all the tools too. Yeah, otherwise there's really not much else to say here right now, is there? It's all waiting for you. Like I said, if there's nothing to say about the chart, then there's just nothing to say. Nothing new has formed here either. But as I said, I'll keep you updated in the 10x Insider. Yeah, thanks for watching. Now I'm linking another video about XRP for you here. As a holder, you especially shouldn't miss that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.